Good afternoon, and welcome to this presentation of Midwestern League Baseball on Table Rock Sports. Big doubleheader today, and we're bringing you Game 1 of the host Crater Comets taking on the visiting Eagle Point Eagles, a pair of teams that go with a rivalry that goes back a long ways, and right now they find themselves right in the thick of things as they fight for playoff position in the Midwestern League. Looking at the standings going into today, Thurston, the Colts, the team we looked at last Friday here on Table Rock, running away with things. They have a perfect league record of 13-0. Churchill sits behind them, at least in the win column, at 7-6, but right behind them are the Crater Comets with a league mark of 6-4, and Eagle Point with a record of 5-5. In fact, this doubleheader will complete a 3-game set between the two teams this week. Crater, winner against Eagle Point on Tuesday by a score of 4-1. So Eagle Point coming in here with perhaps a little extra motivation for revenge. Also, more important than that, an opportunity if they can succeed here today by taking a couple of wins, move themselves up into third place, and just breathing right down the necks of the Lancers, who are presently in second place. We're 9 minutes away from first pitch of today's contest. Looking forward to see what the game has in store. Of course, we're here thanks in large part to all of our business sponsors. And for all of our subscribers, have over 4,000 presently. And we invite you to become one of them. Become one of our subscribers on YouTube, and then you get notifications on your mobile device anytime one of our events goes live. So it kind of keeps you up to date and in the thick of things as things go along. What we'll do right now is we'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get you ready for the start of today's contest. Game 1 between the Eagles and Comets, and that's coming your way on TableRockSports.net.
The things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned, and people will ask me, "What's that thing? Why is it so big?" RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
It's that time of year again. Time for our huge truckload meat bonanza at Food for Less. Choose from Chairman's Reserve beef and pork, like in the bag New Yorks, tri-tips, boneless pork loins, and bone-in pork shoulder butts. We'll also cut it just the way you want, for free. Look for all your bonanza savings on our Facebook and Sherm's Thunderbird website. So remember, always shop at our bonanzas and save.
Welcome back to Anhorn Field in Central Point. We're moments away from the start of today's game between the Eagles and the Comets. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Eagles. The visitors will bat first. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Ryan McFall. He'll be followed in the order by the left fielder, Mason DeVry. Hitting third and catching is Sean McFall. In the cleanup spot is the pitcher, Colin Stockton. Braden Nugent is in the 5 spot and plays the 5 position, that is third base. And then at first will be Brendan Ruyamas. Behind him in the order, number 7 hitter, Carson Robinson. Number 8 hitter is Weston Adams playing right field, and the number 9 hitter is Skylar Tribber, who is playing center field. Defensively, the Comets will line up like this. In the infield, it'll be Zach Harrington at first. At second base, Morgan Austin. Over at third, Mason Snopel. The shortstop, Caleb Cornett. The outfield from left to right, Andy Sweet, Kason Orr, and Michael Villarreal. The battery, Gage Ayers at catcher, and getting the start on the mound for the Comets. Starting off on the hill for Crater will be Tanner Keith. Opening pitch is a strike. Keith 0-1. Look at the second pitch for a ball as the count goes 1-1. Bouncing ball hit down to third base. Throw down to first is in time. And there's one gone. 5-3 on the play. Standing in, Mason DeVry. Lefty hitting left fielder. Fouls one off. Count 0-1. The offering from Keith. Swing and a miss. Running the count to 0-2. Pitch in the dirt. Count goes 1-2. Waiting for my cameraman to arrive. I'm kind of doing double duty here. So once she gets here, then ball hit in the air. Down into the corner. Foul it goes. Count remains at 1-2. So once my counter person arrives, then we can keep the scoreboard displays up to date. But what I can tell you right now, verbally, 1-2 count with one gone. DeVry the hitter, and he'll hit that ball high in the air to center field. Running back on it. Making the catch, the Comet center fielder. And there's two gone. Sean McFall, Eagles catcher, standing in. 2 gone now. Saw Keith pitch last Friday against a very formidable Thurston lineup and having a much better go of it opening this ball game. Although right now it is McFall with the advantage, 2-0. Now ball popped up in the air. That'll end up out of play. We got a 2-1 count. Warm Friday afternoon. Some cloud cover. At least in theory, takes the edge off of it a little bit. Ball popped up high in the air. Harrington there to make the catch. So the Comets defensively sail through the top half of the first, and they'll come up right after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Luxurious Karastan flooring. The flooring you need to live beautifully. It's time to enjoy savings with style during the National Karastan Month Journey into Savings event. Right now, save up to $2,000 and pay no interest for 12 full months with your qualifying purchase. Experience the luxury of Karastan exclusively at both Lippert's Carpet One locations, Medford and Grants Pass.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Jump online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Back here at Anhorn Field looking at the starting lineup, the batting order for the Comets. It'll be Mason Snopel. And he'll be followed in the order by Caleb Cornett, the number 3 hitter, the DH, Alex Johnson. Cleanup man is Zach Harrington, the first baseman. Andy Sweet follows in left field, followed by Morgan Austin at second base. Gage Ayers is the catcher. And it'll be Michael Villarreal hitting 8th and playing right field. And Kason Orr, the number 9 hitter for Crater. Defensively, it'll look like this for the Eagles. It will be Rayamas at first base, Robinson at second, Nugent at third, the shortstop, Ryan McFall. Outfield, DeVry in left, Tribber in center field, and Weston Adams in right. The catcher is Sean McFall. The pitcher is Colin Stockton. Snopel will look at a ball as the count goes 1-0. Bottom of the first, 1-1 count. Leadoff man for Crater. Little off-speed pitch there by Stockton. Count 2-1. For the Comet third baseman. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Snopel will draw the base on balls. So leadoff man aboard for the Comets. And here is Caleb Cornett. Left-handed hitter. Stockton will start him out with a strike. Gets ahead. There's Snopel's lead at first. Fouled off, and that'll run the count to 0-2. Presumptively taking the bunt off the table for Crater. Alex Johnson, the designated hitter, on deck. Bouncing ball. They get the lead runner. Runner called safe at first. So it'll be a fielder's choice. But the important part, they got the lead runner. If you're an Eagle fan, Alex Johnson, the big DH coming to the plate. Bouncing ball hit wide at first. Fouled in the direction of the Eagle dugout. Parrot teams go back a long ways. Tell you how old I am. I remember when both of these teams were in the old Southern Oregon Conference. So with the two communities side by side, there's been a little bit of a natural geographical ball hit in the air. Out to center field. That one's going to hang up there for a while. Time enough to make the play. And there's two out. Triber out there making the play in center field. Two down, runner on first. Zach Harrington, the hitter. Zach, we've seen him move around the infield defensively throughout the year, and today he's playing first base, where often we see Trevin Ging. Pitch for a ball. Count now at 2-0. Stockton pours that one in for a strike. 2-1 with two gone. No apparent designs of thievery, although I say that and he takes off and runs. Uriamis trying to make a play there, runs out of room. Having played a little first base myself, yeah, you get in that position, you got a lot of things. It's like, okay, where's the fence? Where's the ball? It was just right there, and good hustle play on the part of Uriamis. That'll even up the count now at 2-2. Throw over to first. Getting back safely is the runner, Cornett. A ball is the call. Count full at 3-2. Runner at first with two down. Gets the runner back. Payoff pitch on the way. Ball hit high in the air. And they're making the play, and that will end the Comet threat here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. To the top of 2 we go. And we'll have that for you right on the other side of this break.
The heart of the Rogue Valley, RVTD connects us all, not just through miles traveled, but also through time. Today, RVTD moves with the pulse of the Rogue Valley. More than just a bus ride, it's a lifeline for workers, students, and families, ensuring access for all to jobs, schools, and essential services. Rogue Valley Transportation District, celebrating 50 years of moving our community forward.
Go to the top of the second. Stockton will lead things off for the Eagles. Both teams looking for their first hit of the game. Keith comes to the plate, fires a strike, gets ahead 0-1. Bouncing ball hit down to third. Snopel will fire across the infield. Stretching but keeping his foot on the bag is Harrington, and there's one gone. Here's Braden Nugent. Right-handed hitting. Third baseman. Pitch at the knees for a strike. As Keith gets ahead. And there's another strike as Nugent watches that one in. Or Yamas, first baseman on deck. Pitch up. That'll go 1-2. Now the ball hit in the air, and that lands about 20 feet away from us, out of play. Working down the first baseline. One-two count with one gone. Here's the pitch. Little screamer hit down to second. Throw. In time. And there's two gone. Hear the Eagle bench cheering him on. Go Lamas. Lamas. First baseman. Get our first look at him for the day, and Keith gets ahead of him. Breaking ball low as the count evens up at 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike two. Keith to the plate. Bouncing ball down to second. Throw to first. And there's three gone. That'll retire the side. It remains a scoreless ball game. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
All right, let's go, guys. 15 minutes. Get your stuff.
Bye, Mom.
Have a good day, guys. I don't know what happened.
Just next time, go a little slower and figure it out.
Okay, I get it. What you're going to do is you're going to take the line.
Life is busy. Juggling everything can be overwhelming. We've all been there. So consumed with our own lives that we sometimes forget about what someone else might be going through.
Ref, come on! No, ref! There's no contact! I'm straight up! That is a terrible
So
goal.
keep it in perspective. Because we're all hoping for the same thing. To be respected for who we are and what we do. Remember, no ref, no game. You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official. But you can only be one. Know your
Home half of the second inning. Sweet will lead things off. And he gets ahead 1-0. Andy Sweet playing left field. His patience induces a hitter's count at 3-0. On deck, as Sweet draws the walk. Austin, the hitter, seen him busy down at second base as Keith has done a good job of inducing the ground ball. Stockton pours in a strike as he gets ahead of the hitter. Sweet a fairly conservative lead, and meanwhile, as we turn the camera back over to the hitter, speaking of back, he gets hit in the back and hit by a pitch. So we got two on with nobody out. So there'll be a little conversation on the mound there. Going to try to help Stockton right the ship. with Sweet and Austin aboard. That'll bring up the catcher, Gage Ayers. Ayers, right-handed hitter, steps in. Now he's got a runner in scoring position to try to unbreak the deadlock. Pitch on the way. Ball hit on the ground. Just gets past the pitcher. Will throw over to first. Throw in time. Let the runners move up. Not an ordered sacrifice, but has the same effect as it moves the runners to second and third. Here's the right fielder, Michael Villarreal. Ball in the dirt. But McFall doing a good job there of keeping it in front of him. So everybody going to stay put. Want to know the count to Villarreal. There's a strike right down Broadway. Stockton with some mustard behind it. One and one the count with one gone. Pitch misses its target. 2-1 the count. Both these teams looking to gain ground on second place Churchill. Ball hit high in the air. Shallow center field. Shallow enough that they're going to keep the runner at third. So now there's two gone. Runners at second and third. Casanor. Here's the pitch. Good looking pitch, but they'll call a ball on that one. It'll go 1-0. Catcher Sean McFall will come out for a word with this pitcher. First base open with two down. Crater to go back to the top of the order to Snopel. Strike. Stockton with a little gas there to even things up. Pitch on the way. It's fouled in the air. Goes over our head. Out to the parking lot. And he got a second inning jam. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away. Orr staying alive at 1-2. Runners at second and third. Pitch on the way. 3-2. 2-2, I should say. Stockton out of the stretch. Pitch on the way. Off target. 3-2. Payoff pitch. Ball's hit in the air to left field. And that one's going to fall in. So 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Kaysen Orr getting the Comets on the board. 2-0. As he brings 2 home with a double. He just managed to get that beyond the outstretched arms of the left fielder DeVry. And just like that, it's a 2-0 ball game. Okay, now I'm going to move in here and let the real professionals go to work on the camera. Snopel, 0 for 1 on the ball game. So probably the Crater fans would like it if I put the score on the scoreboard there now. We're getting all caught up now. Crater capitalizing on their first hit of the ball game of the extra base variety. Jumping out front here in the bottom of the second. Snopel, 2-0 pitch. A ball. As we go 3-0. Stockton working out of the stretch. And Snopel draws the bases on balls. Let's get the, no, there we go. So we got Orr at second. And Snopel at first. Caleb Cornett to the plate. Runner goes down to third. So as Orr advances, run number 3 is 90 feet away. Cornett, shortstop, standing in. Snopel will edge off the bag a little bit like he's got stealing on his mind, but he stays close there. I would especially imagine with 2 out. A hitter's count for Cornett at 3-0. He's got Johnson on deck. Should he get aboard? Stockton throws high, and the bases are loaded. Well, we got ducks on the pond with 2 gone. Crater with 2 runs in the inning. No doubt they'd like to blow things wide open and put a little wind in the sails of pitcher Tanner Keith. Stockton will miss on the opening pitch, but he's got 2 gone. Stockton pours it in to even up the count now. There, a line drive that'll drop in for a base hit. Or now Snopel. Now coming around, Cornett throws late, trying to grab second base. On the play is Johnson. So Alex Johnson clears the bases. And he's down at second. Harrington gets nicked, and so he'll head on down to first. So it's first and second with 2 gone. Coach Tyson Wolf emerges from the dugout, and we're going to have a pitching change. So while we have that, we'll break away momentarily. And we'll be right back on TableRockSports.net.
That time of year again, time for our huge truckload meat bonanza at Food for Less. Choose from Chairman's Reserve beef and pork, like in the bag New Yorks, tri-tips, boneless pork loins, and bone-in pork shoulder butts. We'll also cut it just the way you want, for free. Look for all your bonanza savings on our Facebook and Sherm's Thunderbird website. So remember, always shop at our bonanzas and save.
Taking over on the hill for Eagle Point will be Ian Isaacson, wearing number 11. He's got runners at first and second. He's going to try to keep from scoring. Isaacson, first pitch is a strike. That's always a good feeling if you're the guy coming in, and especially a guy coming in where you've got a little bit of a jam to work the team out of. Isaacson looks in. Right-hander from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. We're in the bottom of the second. Comets have done a considerable amount of damage here, putting a crooked number on the board. Bouncing ball, and that's going to get out to left field. Johnson will come around. McFall has to chase down the bouncing throw. And that will give the Comets a 6-0 lead. Off the bat of Andy Sweet. Morgan Austin, the hitter. First and second with two gone. Pitch to the plate. Isaacson ahead here. Ball line foul. Wide of the right field line. Advantage Isaacson with two gone. Trying to close the floodgates here in the bottom of the second. Pitch on the way. It's in the dirt. McFall doing a good job of keeping it in front of him. Nobody's going anywhere. Isaacson. The pitch. Took a little something off of there, and he gets his team out of the inning. But not before the Comets put a crooked number on the board. 6 runs on 3 hits. No Eagle errors, and we'll be back with the top of the third after these messages on Table Rock Sports.
It's game time. And there's only one thing that makes it all possible. Refs.
We're looking for people like you. Former athletes.
Parents.
Community members.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
But we need more heroes and stripes. People like you.
Join the team and keep sports alive.
Play ball.
Because no ref, no game.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Top of the third we go. It'll be Robinson, Adams, And Schreiber to try to get things going for the Eagles, who now find themselves trailing 6-0 in the ball game. Keith, who has opened the game by retiring 6 straight batters, finds himself level here at 1-1. Robinson playing second base. Pitch on the way. That one will be fouled back. Send the young Souvenir Hunters on the run. 1-2 the count. Robinson showing patience at the plate there. 2-2. Now make that 3-2. Ball hit foul. Off to the right. That'll keep us all right here. Pitch fouled back to the screen. Count goes and stays full, I should say, at 3-2. And there's a strike, and there's one gone. A little bit of disagreement on that. Nonetheless, Robinson back to the bench. And here's Weston Adams. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Eagle Point coming in with a league record of 5-5 on the season. Crater just ahead of them at 6-4. Then if you count by wins, Churchill's ahead of both of them. Churchill has 7. Obviously, Crater with 6. Eagle Point with 5. Bouncing ball down to short. Throw is in time, and there's 2 gone. Six to 3 on the play. Cornett to Harrington. Skylar Triber looks at a ball and gets ahead of Tanner Keith. Keith with the answer there to level it up. Two 2-1 pitch, make that 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2-2 with 2 out, but now make that 3-2. So Eagle Point hitters making Keith do a little bit of pitching here in the third. Swing and a miss. Keith wins that battle. And it's 3 up, 3 down. $6-0 ball game on your John L. Scott scoreboard. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Combine Finding your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This has been my profession for 30 plus years now. I really love my work. We try to source as many ingredients as we can, as local as possible, like local fruits and vegetables. We have a menu like you would find in any nice restaurant. We don't make it until you order it, so everything will be coming out fresh. We do have wonderful desserts here as well. Every day you have 5 or 6 options as far as a fresh dessert go. People are bringing their friends and family and wanting to show off what we have here to offer.
Come take a tour of Twin Creeks and meet our award-winning...
I think between innings, next one, I'm going to go ahead and move this umbrella a little bit further forward. Now that we don't have me running back and forth. And Hornfield, we go to the bottom of the third. And it'll be Gage Ayers. Isaacson came on in relief of Stockton in the second. Opening pitch. Called the ball. Villarreal on deck. Ball hit in the air. Fouled. Out of action. Ayers in front. 2-1, leadoff hitter in the bottom of the third. Isaacson fires it across to even things up at 2-2. Isaacson winds, fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. One down. And here's Michael Villarreal. Warm day here, a little bit warmer than when we were out here last Friday. Forecasted high for Central Point, 81 degrees. In theory, the clouds and a little bit of a breeze, and it does get breezy out here in this neck of the woods, that taking just a little bit of the edge off. Pitch on the way. Strike 2. Isaacson winds, fires. Breaking ball will miss at 2-2. Villarreal. He's gone. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Casanor. Hits the ball down to third. Throw across the infield is in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Comets in this frame. We'll be back with the top of the fourth right after these messages.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Here at Mel Anhorn Field, it's a 6-0 ball game, but Eagle Point opportunity here in the top of the fourth to do something about it. To the top of the order we go. Shortstop Ryan McFall. He'll get ahead of Tanner Keith. 1-0 pitch. That one popped up high in the air. Keith calls for it. Makes the catch. And there's one gone. That'll bring up Mason DeVry. Eagle left fielder. That one will scatter the ants. And DeVry gets ahead, 1-0. Pitch up high. Keith gets sighted in to make it a 2-1 count. Count 3-1. I tell you what, he doesn't waste much time between pitches, and quite frankly, if you're a Comet player, you like that. Ball hit in the air out to right field, and looks like we got ourselves a ground rule double. It bounces over and into the bushes. Eagles with their first hit of the afternoon, and he's already in scoring position. So a 1-out double by DeVry sets up an opportunity for the catcher, Sean McFall. McFall, a bouncing ball, gets a fortuitous bounce for the Eagles. Runner comes around, and it's a 6-1 ball game. So McFall with the RBI single. DeVry trying to get his team back in the ball game. Now they're 1 run closer than they were a moment ago. Stockton, the hitter. Remains in the game as a DH. Isaacson having come in to pitch for him. Colin Stockton. Runner on first. 1 out. Ayers, the catcher, comes out for a quick word. And now we're back in business. Throw to first. Back in time. One count with one gone. Tanner Keith comes to the plate. Bouncing ball. Keith fires down to first. And there's 2 gone, but the runner advances. Good play by Keith to jump in on that and pounce on it. And Stockton grounding out 1-3. Braden Nugent, the hitter. Tune in to the new sports voice in Southern Oregon, the Ace Sports Radio at AM 1300 and 107.9 FM. You get the Rich Eisen Show, Teed Up Southern Oregon with Joe Brett. Are you Eagle Point fans? Just last week had Eagles coach John White on for the softball program. And, of course, with Coach White, you're talking about a veritable encyclopedia of Southern Oregon softball. And that airs one day, weekdays 1-3, and then out of Portland you have John Canzano from 3 to 6 with the Bald-Faced Truth. The NFL season, you'll have 5 games every weekend. Ball popped up in the air on the infield. Shortstop Cornett calls for it, and that'll retire the side. For the Eagles, 1 run on 2 hits and no Comet errors. We'll be back with the home half of the 4th inning right after this message. John L. Scott scoreboard, the Comets 6 and the Eagles 1.
Enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place. Close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better.
When you work with Hart Insurance Agency, you'll experience the quality service and attention to detail that you'll only find with an independent insurance agency. Hart Insurance Agency was founded in 1947 and is one of the largest independent, locally owned agencies in Southern Oregon, with offices in Grants Pass and Medford. Their experienced team of agents have the knowledge to design, place, and to manage your personal and business insurance plans. Find out more. Visit hartinsurance.com.
This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at...
Bottom of the 4th we go. And the Comets come up with their 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Snowpole, Cornett, and Alex Johnson. I'll try to see what they can do against Isaacson. Ian Isaacson coming on in relief of Stockton in the 2nd. Jim McCoy here with you on the call. Becca Miracle on the camera. Bringing you a little Midwestern Conference action between a pair of teams fighting for position. First pitch fouled back to the screen. Snopel, who's had a productive day today, falls behind here 0-1. Isaacson winds, fires. Looked like that might have been on one of those infamous 59-foot curveballs. It'll even up the count, 1-1. Snopel looks one in as the count runs to 2-1. The Isaacson pitch. In the dirt. 3-1 we go. Isaacson, pitch. Ball hit in the air to left field. DeVry moving back on it. Sizes it up. Closes the glove on it. And we've got one gone. Snopel retired. Here is Caleb Cornett. And he's been a part of the goings-on and as a part of that 6-run uprising in the second inning. Isaacson. He has been on target since coming into the game. He's had a couple of deep counts here and there, but almost kind of looked like a little excuse me swing there by Cornett. Goes foul as the count runs to 0-2. Advantage Isaacson with one gone here. Bases empty in the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss. Two gone in the inning. Here's Alex Johnson. Last time up, he had a 2-run double. Game one of a Friday doubleheader. Swing and a miss. Bouncing ball hit down to second. Throw to first is in time. Play goes 4-3. Robinson to Herlamis. And that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. It remains a 6-1 ball game. And we'll be back after these messages here on TableRockSports.net.
All right, let's go, guys. 15 minutes. Get your stuff.
Bye, Mom.
Have a good day, guys. I don't know what happened.
Just next time, go a little slower and figure it out.
Okay, I get it. What you're going to do is you're going to take the line.
Life is busy. Juggling everything can be overwhelming. We've all been there. So consumed with our own lives that we sometimes forget about what someone else might be going through.
Ref, come No, ref! There's no contact. I'm straight up. That is a terrible
So
goal.
keep it in perspective, because we're all hoping for the same thing, to be respected for who we are and what we do. Remember, no ref, no game. You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official, but you can only be one. Know your...
I liked her older stuff better. We're going to go to the top of the fifth. Jake Rolamas. Brendan Rolamas, first baseman, will lead off the inning for the Eagles. Count goes 0-1. He'll be followed in the order by Robinson and Adams. Keith just surrendered the 1 run and 2 hits thus far in the ball game, and now make that 3 hits. Rolamas pulls that one to left field. Solid contact as he gets aboard to lead off the inning. And that'll bring up Robinson, Carson Robinson, wearing number 18. Rolamas taking an unapologetic lead off of first base. And it looks like he's a guy who can scoot, so we'll keep our eyes on him. Robinson ahead here, 2-0. Pitch on the way. And we have a hitter's count at 3-0. Showing bunt now. Pulls that back, and the count goes 3-1. Pitch low and inside, and that will put a man on. Robinson drawing the walk. So runners on first and second now. Nobody out. And here's Weston Adams. He grounded out his first at-bat. Time now for a little conversation on the hill among Keith, Ayers, the infield, and the Comet Brain Trust. Eagles with the early makings of a rally here. Lamas got aboard on a solid single. Robinson followed that up with a walk. And if you happen to be a fan of the Eagles and the Comets, I want to let you know that Game 2 is set to start at approximately 5 o'clock. Once this game wraps up, they'll take about 20-25 minutes and then on to game number 2. But we got this to settle first, trailing by 5. The Eagles have a couple of potential difference makers on the base paths. And an opportunity for Adams to make a dent. So you got Adams, the hitter, with Trevor on deck. And Ryan McFall in the hole. And it should be noted, we've got a pitching change. Coming in off the mound is Austin. Now it looks like we got a Harrington over at third. Sweet at first. Snopels at second. And in terms of what we got going on in left field, that may be Keith out there, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. So Austin facing his first batter of the ball game. First and second with nobody out. It's Adams, the right fielder. He shows bunt. A strike as the count goes 0-1. The stretch and the pitch, comebacker, throw to get the lead runner. Good play there by Austin. So a fielder's choice. Adams down at first. Robinson to second. And Ruamas out at third. Austin. Falls behind Triber. Austin looking to second, comes to the plate. Ball's popped up in the air. Austin will call for it, makes the one-handed grab. So updating the scoreboard here. Rolamas was out at third, and they're on the pop-up. Triber's gone. McFall, the hitter. Has an opportunity here with runners at first and second, and two gone. In terms of statistics, Keith responsible for the runners, should they come around. Austin retiring two here in the fifth, and he evens the count up now at 1-1. One pitch on the way. In the dirt. Ryan McFall, the batter. Sean McFall, the catcher. Bouncing ball up the middle. Cornett grabs it, throws over to first, and he's gone. So if the Eagles get a couple runners aboard, but are unable to score, it remains a 6-1 ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. We'll have that for you on the other side of this break.
Luxurious Karastan flooring. The flooring you need to live beautifully. It's time to enjoy savings with style during the National Karastan Month Journey into Savings event. Right now, save up to $2,000 and pay no interest for 12 full months with your qualifying purchase. Experience the luxury of Karastan exclusively at both Lippert's Carpet One locations, Medford and Grants Pass.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Bottom of the fifth. Crater Comets doing all of their offensive damage in the second inning with 6 runs. Leading off for Crater, Zach Harrington. Right-handed hitter. Even stance. Ian Isaacson, who came on in relief of Stockton in the second, continues to work. And he has had a productive outing so far. Pretty well for the last 2+ innings, have kept the Comets in check. Now a line drive hit to center field. That one's going to fall in. Harrington, by our unofficial count, gives the Comets their 4th hit of the ball game. And here is Andy Sweet. Sweet started out the day and left, and then after the pitching change, moved over to first base. Fouls it foul. Out of the stretch, Isaacson, runner goes. And that's singled to right field, base hit. Sweet dives in at third. Should say Harrington dives in at third. And it is Sweet at first. Andy Sweet with his 2nd hit of the day. He started at second and now he's pitching. Here's Austin. Pitch high. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Isaacson can get that pitch to fall right off the table, and he's had the Comets fishing a couple of times this afternoon. Pitch on the way. It's a ball, 2-2. Ayers, the catcher, on deck for Crater. With the miss on that pitch, the count is now full at 3-2. Throw to first. Sweet back in time. Trying to catch Sweet napping there. Austin awaits the payoff pitch from Isaacson. And he got him. So there's one down in the inning. Timely strikeout for the Eagles. Gage Ayers stands in. Pitch on the way, fouled back. Get a little breeze blowing here on this just into the 80s afternoon, just outside of Central Point. Two and one. Before or after the game is a great time to stop by Dutch Bros and fill up on your favorite drink. It seems like there's one on every corner, and you also have to appreciate the fact that they support a number of great causes in our community. Dutch Bros, a proud supporter of Table Rock Sports. 2-2 the count, one gone. Runners at the corners. Ayers smokes it down to third. Good play with the glove. Third baseman throws it over, and they get the out at home. Two gone in the inning. No hesitation there by Nugent. We went right to Sean McFall to make the play. So now we got on the fielder's choice. Runners at first and second. Two out in the inning. Swing and a miss. Ayers going to come out for a courtesy runner. And up at the plate is Ronix Kaiser. Orrin Ging will come in as the courtesy runner. Freshman catcher. Throw down to first. And he's safe. But I tell you what. Good quick toss by McFall down there. 1-2 with 2 gone. Runners at first and second. Isaacs. Pitch fouled back. Ronix into the game. Right-handed hitter. He gets dinged, and that'll load him up. So you got Sweet at third. Ging running for Ayers at second. And Kaiser at first. 1-0 pitch on the way. Strike runs it even. Add 1-1. Pitch high as the count goes 2-1. Pitch fouled back. That'll even it up at 2-2. Eagles trying to escape the threat here. 2 outs. They got 2 runners on. And a pitch for a strike. And that will get the Eagles out of the inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Crater leading 6-1. And we will be back after these messages. We're in the top of the 6th. Comets, 6-1 lead. Opportunity for an Eagle Point rally here. Mason DeVry, left fielder, will lead things off. Ruled a dead ball. Yeah, it looked like DeVry may have hit that off. Yeah, he's shaking his right leg like he might have taken one there off the foot. And Austin on in relief. Gets ahead here 0-1. Austin advantage 0-2. Works quickly again. Misses there. We're talking about earlier, though, how you like it if you're a defensive player, if your pitcher's working quickly. Not a lot of downtime. Kind of forces you to stay locked in. Bouncing ball, right side of the infield. Sweet takes care of it himself, and there's one gone. So it's U3 on the putout. And here's Sean McFall. McFall hit an RBI single his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day. Gets ahead of Austin. Two-0 pitch, ball hit up the middle, fielded at second base. Snopel making the play to Sweet. 2 away. And that'll bring up Colin Stockton, who's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. On deck is Braden Nugent. Even now at 1-1. 2 out in the inning. Stockton ahead after the pitch at 2-1. Ball hit in the air off to the right. Lands behind the Eagle Point dugout. That'll even up the count now at 2-2. Pitch from Austin. Ball hit on the edge of the infield. Snopel gathers it in, and that will retire the side. It remains a 6-1 ball game, and we will be back with the home half of the 6th inning after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
One of the things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for like my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned and people will ask me, what's that thing? Why is it so big? RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Jump online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Thank you. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Here on this beautiful spring day. Of course, what spring means for this guy is spring allergies. So apologies in advance for any sniffling or dry coughs along the way. But here, being treated to a marquee matchup of two Midwestern League teams fighting for playoff positioning. Snopel, leadoff hitter, looks at a strike as the count goes 0-1. Pitch on the way. Bouncing ball hit the short. Throw across the infield is in time. McFall to Rolamas. And there's one gone. Caleb Cornett. He scored a run today. He'll stand in. Bouncing ball down to third. Little cue shot there. Just inside the line. Typically where you wouldn't expect it to land off the bat of a left-handed hitter. So Cornett employing the element of surprise. One gone in the inning and a runner on first. Here's Alex Johnson. And that'll go for a strike. Isaacson has been holding the Comets in check after they put up 6 runs in the second inning. It's been quiet since. Isaacson ahead 0-2. On deck man is Zach Harrington. Pitch, runner goes. Ball hit down to second. The only play is to first with the good jump there. But Cornett getting so far in front of it, they really had no play for him there. And they erase Johnson on the play. Zach Harrington. Pitch gets away, but McFall pounces like a cat on it. And that'll keep Cornett at second. How about we get the scoreboard up to date here? Yeah, it's a 1-0 count. Harrington ahead, 2-0. Second base is open. Cornett in scoring position. Pitch on the way. Smokes it out to right center field. Catch is made by Adams. And that'll do it in the bottom of the sixth. The Eagles with one more chance, and we'll see what they do with that opportunity coming up here on Table Rock Sports, coming your way in 60 seconds.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Mel and Hornfield in Central Point here on Upton Road. We go to the top of the seventh. The Eagles down to their final 3 outs. Nugent, Rolamas, and Robinson due up. And Morgan Austin, who came on in relief of Keith in the 5th inning, remains on the hill. Austin probably gets ahead of Nugent, the third baseman for Eagle Point. Quickly goes 0-2. And again, Austin continuing to work quickly. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 gone. Brendan Rolamas will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Austin throwing aspirins here. That one fouled away as the count goes 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Upstairs. 1-2. Austin will miss on that one. Rolamas working a good at-bat here. Trying to keep his team alive as they trail by 5. Bouncing ball hit down to short. Cornett across the infield to Sweet. And there's 2 away. Post-game tradition for 60 years. Abby's Pizza is a proud sponsor of Table Rock Sports. Got all your traditional pizza favorites. They got the taco pizza on special this month. Abby's with locations throughout Southern Oregon. Count 0-1. Bouncing ball hit down to short. Going to be a tough play. And Robinson legs it out for the hit. Little infield single. Here's Weston Adams. Flew out and got aboard on a fielder's choice. Austin, and that's been the name of the game for the Comets today, is Keith the starter, Austin in relief, have been throwing strikes all afternoon, economical with their pitches, much to the light of Coach Jay Campbell. Pitch fouled away. 0-2. Then, of course, there was that big 6-run outburst in the second. Among the highlight hits was a 2-run double by Alex Johnson. Pitch on the way. Ground ball, and that one's going to sneak through for a base hit. So Adams with the single to left center. Skylar Triber, you don't see too many 99s in baseball, but he's one of them. Of course, these days, big 99 wearing the Yankee pinstripes, Aaron Judge. Perhaps a nod there to a favorite ball player. There's the ball as the count goes 1-1. Pitch on the way. 2-1. Ryan McFall on deck if Trevor succeeds. Smokes a line drive. And he caught it. Nice hustle play out there in left field. And the Crater Comets take game 1 of the doubleheader. Crater winning the game by a score of 6-1. Winning pitcher, Tanner Keith. Taking the loss for Eagle Point will be Colin Stockton. About a 1 hour and 45-minute game. And so with that, the Comets go to 7-4 in league action, while the Eagles go to 5-6. Well, that'll wrap things up for today's broadcast. One of our sponsors is the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior in youth sports. To find out more about the campaign, visit Travel Medford and click on the Know Your Role link to find out more. This will wrap up our streaming of today's action. Game 2 will be coming up in about 25 minutes. So for all you locals want to take in a good ball game on a beautiful day, come on out this evening. Well, that'll wrap things up here for my camera operator, Becca Miracle. I'm Jim McCoy. For executive producer Joe Brett, we wish you a great evening and thank you for joining us.